What's the matter with you, Birdsworth?
How long do you reckon I'll get, Miss Bennett?
I've no idea.
Oh, probably about 18 months or 2 years. And what with remissions and that. Do you reckon Ellen and Josie will wait for me?
Well, you know them better than anyone.
Well, I don't know what I'd do if I lost them. I'm not a bad woman, am I, Miss Bennett? When you get set in your ways, it's hard to change.
If people don't accept you for what you are, they're not worth bothering about. The Huntleys have accepted you so far, Lizzie. I don't see why they'd change now.
You know, Miss Bennett, you're not half as rotten as some people think.
I hope this is important, Doreen.
Well, there's something you ought to know about Lizzie, Mrs. Davidson. She never killed Kay White. It was Linda Jones. She's only taken the rap for it so she can stay in here longer.
Well, that's quite a revelation, Doreen. I hope you realize the seriousness of what you have just told me.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
And you also realize the consequences if what you have told me is proven to be true.
Yeah, it means Linda Jones will be charged with manslaughter and the charges against Lizzie will be dropped.
Exactly. And Lizzie Birdsworth, B. Smith, you and everyone else involved in this little cover-up will be charged with conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, which would effectively add several months to all your sentences. Now, are you quite sure you don't want to change your story?
No, I don't want to change anything. If we get a few extra months, then that's what we deserve for getting mixed up in Lizzie's scheme in the first place.
Oh, I see. So now you're saying this whole thing was Lizzie's idea?
No, I'm not. Look, I've told you the truth about what happened. Kay had a go at Lizzie and Linda belted her over the head with an electric jug. Geez, Mrs. Davidson, you'd only have to look at Lizzie to see that she wouldn't have a show against Kay in an all-out blue. I mean, Lizzie's about as strong as...
Lizzie is quite capable of lifting an electric jug, isn't she?
Yeah, but what about...
All right, Burns, don't go on. I just wish you had come to me with this information earlier. It would have made it so much easier to get to the truth. Now it seems the only person who can effectively clean up this mess is Lizzie herself.
She won't change her story.
I will speak to her just the same. You can take her back now. No. On second thoughts, take her to an interview room. I think it might be wise to keep her separated from the others for the present. You can take her back after we get Lizzie Birdsworth in here.
Fletcher.
Erica Davidson.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
Could you bring Lizzie Birdsworth to my office right away, please?
Well, actually, Mrs. Davidson, I've just signed off. I'll get Miss Bennett to bring her.
I'd rather you brought her yourself, Mr. Fletcher. I think you might be interested in what happens.
Very well, I'll be there. As soon as I sign back in again.
Are you trying to sneak away early?
For your information, Miss Bennett, I do not sneak away, and it's not early. In fact, my rostered shift ended 10 minutes ago.
Only because you drew up the rosters and passed the overtime on to everyone else.
If that's an official complaint, put it in writing.
And what if I did? Would that induce you to shoulder some of the burden created by our present staff shortage?
I think you'll agree, Miss Bennett, that in recent months I've done more than my fair share of overtime and double shifts.
Because it suited you.
Perhaps, and now it suits me to work on a regular 8-hour daily basis and have some time to myself for a change.
And that wouldn't have anything to do with the social life you've been engaging in lately, would it?
You're quite right, Miss Bennett, it wouldn't.
Yeah, well, she's just had a miscarriage, remember, Lizzie?
Yeah. But I don't see what good Mrs. Davidson would be to her on that score.
Oh, well, there are some things you can talk over with your mates and some things you just can't.
Yeah. She's been gone a long time, though. Hey, I know what it might be.
What?
Mrs. Davidson told us that she'd help us with our investments.
Oh, well, no. If it was about your investments, she would have taken you along, wouldn't she?
Yeah, suppose so.
Birdsworth.
Yes, Mr. Fletcher?
Mrs. Davidson wants to see you.
What now?
Yes, now, come on.
There you are. Dora will be getting out soon, so she'll be getting our investments teed up with Mrs. Davidson.
Come on, Birdsworth.
Is Mrs. Davidson going to help me with my investments, Mr. Fletcher?
I've got no idea. All I know is that I'm supposed to be off duty now. Will you get a move on?
All right, Mr. Fletcher. Must be way past Mrs. Davidson's knocking off time too, Mr. Fletcher.
Now, come on, Lizzie. We can't stay here all night. Is there any truth in what Doreen has told me?
Yeah, I suppose there is. It's true Kay White had a go at me, but that's it. Nobody else hit her over the skull with a jug. That was me.
And Jones had no part in the affair?
No. How could she? She was nowhere near the place. Look, Mrs. Davidson, he was there. Did you see Linda Jones anywhere near that cell?
No, I didn't.
There you are, then.
Doreen told me that you hid Linda behind the cell door. That is why Mr. Fletcher did not see her at the time. Then she was able to slip away later.
Oh, look, Mrs. Davidson, I reckon Doreen's lost her marbles. Fair dinkum. Maybe it's on account of she lost that kid. I reckon she's got it all twisted up in her head about Linda getting out, and now she's got her boy. You know. Maybe it's because we was both going out together, and now she's scared because she's got to go out on her own. Oh, I don't know why Doreen done this, Mrs. Davidson. It's true I sconned Kay White, but I'm willing to take me punishment. I suppose I'm lucky that some of my mates are willing to lie for me when I'm in a bit of a spot. But I have to live with myself.
All right, Lizzie, that will be all. Mr. Fletcher?
Wait for me outside, Lizzie. You're not convinced?
Are you?
Well, it makes sense in a way. Doreen did take the loss of a baby pretty badly, and she was expecting Lizzie to be released with it. Nevertheless, perhaps we should raise the issue with the VJ.
No, I don't know that there's any point in that. It seems as though it's Doreen's word against everyone else's.
There's still Linda Jones.
Good night, Mr. Fletcher. You bloody idiot. I ought to kick you fair and square in the guts.
Let it go easy, Lizzie. Doreen's not exactly as well as she might be, you know.
Not well is right. In the head is where she's not well.
I was only doing it for you, Lizzie.
Doing what?
Spilling the beans to Davo about what really happened to Kay.
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell is right. Just when I thought I'd done a fairly good job of convincing Flesh and Davo that you was talking out the back of the neck, but
what?
But tomorrow morning on his way to work, Fletcher's going to see Linda. Oh. Lying there crying your heart out ain't gonna do any good.
I'm sorry, Lizzie.
I think it's about time you explained, Doreen. Now, come on, why did you do it?
I got scared.
Bullshit.
Shut up, let her explain. Scared of what?
Everything. Living in that big house on my own, no friends, everything. I mean, it was going to be all right when we got out together, but you had to stick your bib in to get Linda off.
Oh, yes, what I thought it might have been. But why on earth didn't you come and talk to one of us instead of going and shooting your mouth off?
Well, would that have made Lizzie change her mind about covering up for Linda?
Of course it wouldn't. Linda had a boy to think of, and you're just being bloody selfish.
I'm selfish? What about you? The only reason you took the blame for Linda killing Kay White was because your so-called daughter and granddaughter are in the States for a couple of years, and it suits you to stay in Wentworth with all your mates. It's worked out real nice for you, hasn't it? Well, what about me? I'm out of here in a few weeks' time. I've lost my baby, and the husband I never lived with divorcing me, and I got no family, and just because I try to get some friend, one mate on the outside with me, I'm selfish.
Okay, come on, Doreen, don't go getting all upset. Now, does anyone mind if I try and get across my few thoughts on the matter? Now, I don't know what Lizzie's reasons were for taking the rap for Linda, but as far as I can see, it's the only fair way. I mean, Linda's got a kid to think about. It's not going to do him any good if she gets stuck in here for another couple of years. And there is one other small point that everyone seems to have missed.
What's that?
What do you think would have happened if Linda hadn't stepped in and dropped Kay, Lizzie here would have been dead. Kay White would have copped a murder charge, and we would have been lumbered with the bitch for an extra 20 years. As it is, everything's back to normal, except we've got rid of Kay White, and Lizzie's got, what, another 18 months added to her sentence? Well, a small price to pay, I'd say. Wouldn't you? OK. Next chance you get, how about changing your story?
There's only one thing, Bea. Supposing Linda does go to Jelly, we're going to be in one hell of a spot then, aren't we?